Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Woo! Let me get situated really quickly. I'm so sorry. Mm. Man, oh man. Mm. Listen, it's morning vibes over coffee. I'm really starting to love this, guys. I'm really starting to love this because I look forward to it, right? Like I just look forward to it. I love doing things like this. I love journeys like this because it's really it's just nourishment for the soul, man. I don't care what nobody say. Like, when you go through so much in life, when you do so much in life, like man, I tell you, like it's what can I put it? It's one of those things where it's just refreshing. You know what I'm saying? Like having the ability to just get up and know that it's going to be okay. And that's what we do over coffee, man. Coffee is a very, any time that you take to just assess your day is an opportune time to assess how the day can be. You are in control. There's certain things you're not in control of, but there's a lot of things that you're in control of. And having the time to assess it, it's the most valuable time, yeah. It's the most valuable time. We be trucking is stuck at the shipper. So we gon' we gonna vibe out with her, man. She's at the shipper right now. She chilling. She's trying to get her vibe on. Gold Phoenix is in the building. It's just amazing, man. It's amazing. The morning vibe coffee. I have a prediction, y'all. Gold Phoenix. I'm waiting for Ray David to come in because I know he's gonna hit us with some type of coffee stuff. But Gold Phoenix, I predict that we're going to have like a virtual coffee shop. Like that's how serious I want this to be. I really want this to be something where it's like people can come here and they can chill and we can vibe because what happened to that? What happened to what happened to being vulnerable? What happened with being safe? What happened with being loved? What happened with being, just cool and just having a cool ambiance, a dope scene going? Maybe because I'm older. It's probably because I'm older. And that was a thing. Like I don't know how old you guys are, but let me tell you something. I'm I'm in the neo soul era. Like that's like I'm in the Jill Scott, the Roots, you know what I'm saying? Like, Flowetry. That's like my era. I'm very versed in that era. Common, Most Def. That's my era. And that era that was such a beautiful time. Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. A shout out to the 80s and stuff and all the night, but that era it's just like it's a bubble. It's like you had to be there to witness when we seen the shift and we seen it. Basically, see Neo Soul, what they were doing was they were taking, you know, a dig at hip hop and stuff and the whole, oh, you lay a hoe and all this other stuff. And then they took it back to how Marvin Gaye, Luther Vandross, not Luther, because Luther was not really singing to the lady, but they took a homage to old school love and not being afraid to take things slow and pay attention to your girl and pay attention to the man that you're with and really took the time to develop a foundation, to develop a routine that superseded anything. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what Neo Soul did for me. Neo Soul put things back into a perspective of it being like, yo, man, we all chilling. We like to have a good time. We like to vibe and we want to conjugate with those type of people. So that's just where I'm at with it. I'm feeling light on my feet today, y'all. I got some good coffee. Good morning, Ray David. We be trucking. How old is older? I don't know. We be trucking. How old is you? Man, let me tell you something. I think growing old is a beautiful thing, man. I think growing old is a beautiful thing. I'm 37. I'm right up there with you. I'm 35. 90s R&B and neo soul is my happy place. Yo, Music Soul Child, he from my place. He from Philly. A lot of those neo soul people were from Philly. Bilal, yo, we be trucking. You remember Bilal? You don't remember Bilal, girl. You don't remember Bilal. I'm gonna tell you something, man. You don't remember Bilal. You don't remember Maxwell. Yo, if you remember Bilal, we be trucking. We're friends for life. That's all I'm gonna say. We are friends for life. Raheem Devon, when he was coming up, he had that, that R&B soul with him. Like, oh, beautiful time. Neo Soul was such a beautiful time. Oh my God, I can't stress it. I can't stress how beautiful it was. Because it was just one of those things where it just gave you just hope again. Right? 52 deep. Then right, first of all, that means you got some bangers. I wonder if like what would be I, I'm pretty sure Canadian music, you guys have American nuances. So I'm sure you guys, are aware of the pop culture. I'm sure you guys have a heavy rap culture. I know you guys do. Because like over in like Germany, they are stuck in 90s hip hop. Like if you were to look at how they dress, like the African American community in Germany, they dress like they got the long braids, they got the denim rompers, like they are in a time capsule over there. I love it though because I was seeing the artist development over there and they just love that sound and they have really honed it. So right there, I know Canada got some bangers besides Drake. But Drake can't take the torch. I know there's some people over there, Ray David, that you guys vibe with, but it's just let's start off with this. So remember the last couple of times we've been talking about the ambiance of the coffee shop, right? Why it is a place of peace. It's a safe haven, right? You got the chairs are set up in a way for you to have conversations with new people or older people or people you never met, right? The coffee lady, she gets to know your name. You know what I mean? She sees you enough where she knows how you like your coffee. Hey, we be trucking. Two creams, two sugars, right? Light roast. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna assume we be trucking name is Darling. We be trucking name is Darling. Hey, darling. I know you like your croissant warmed up. So now you feeling like you're a part of something, right? Like it because nothing feels better than validation in life. To know that you are acknowledged. It could be in a small thank you. It could be someone calling your name. It could be you receiving an accolade or an award. It's nothing more satisfying than knowing that someone has recognized you and acknowledged your existence. So they call out your name. Yeah, I mean, the lady comes, she bring you your coffee. That's another thing I love. I love when they bring it. Hey, how you doing? Here you go. Boom, 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 blah, blah, blah. You sitting down. I mean, you got your situation set up, meaning you probably have like your laptop or whatever. Or if it was back in the day, we were writing in our books. Yeah, I mean, we was writing in notebooks. Straight up. We were writing in notebooks, we were writing in our journals, we were doing homework. Right? All right, cool. So we got the ambiance now, right? Everything is buzzing, meaning people are coming and getting their coffee, they're leaving, people are sitting down. It's almost as if you're stuck in a time warp. It's like you're stuck in this bubble and everything's happening around you, but you are sitting still and you are enjoying your pocket of peace. You're enjoying your pocket of peace. Here's the thing that sends it over the top: the ambient music. The ambient music. That was the icing on the cake. If you were in a urban space, they would have like local artists, right? On the radio, they would play. And then some coffee shops had a little corner that was dedicated to local artists to come and actually perform live. Because a lot of coffee shops were makeshift speakeasies. So there was a lot of spoken word, a lot of poetry readings, a lot of, people just doing their artistry. The coffee shop is the quintessential safe haven, cool place to be. It was for the intellect. It was for the create. It was like for the left brain intellectuals to coexist with the right brain creatives. And they would gel and vibe. And listen, I'm sorry. I know I get too deep. I know I go philosophical. That has always been my crutch in life. I go real deep, like rose-colored lens deep. Ray Davis said the old school lights or cool style ceiling, lots of wood. Exactly. It's warm, it's inviting, it's cozy. What Gold Phoenix know about that lavender latte with a cream cheese bagel? Boy, you better stop. Boy, you better stop. Don't do that. You don't know nothing about the lavender latte. And let me tell you something, Gold Phoenix, they'll actually put fresh lavender. Like they'll get dry lavender leaves. And if they sprinkle that over top of that latte and let it sit on that foam, oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Nail done, everything did, and the nail done. Yo, what you know about the lavender latte? We be trucking Bilal Soul Sister. I think the neo soul singers came from the East Coast because the East Coast has some of the most educated folks in the country. Even East Coast rappers are highly intelligent. Listen, we be trucking. She already know. I'm from the East Coast. So I know that being from the East Coast, it's what is it? It's like we're misunderstood. A lot of people think that we're cocky or things like that, but the truth of the matter is it's not none of that. It's just, you know, our form of weaponry or survival was to be intellectually sound. Plus it's a survival mechanism. You know what I'm saying? One thing about being from the East Coast was that, how can I put it? Like the ghetto or an unsavory neighborhood is usually in the middle of a place that's surrounded by a suburb. So it forces you to stay in this bubble. And when you stepped out of the bubble and you started integrating and interacting with different other communities and stuff, and you're realizing that, holy crap, the one thing that remains constant is the talk. It's just like a person that migrates from a different country over here. If a person has a heavy dialect, what they do is they come over here before they have children, or they put their children into situations where they can remove that dialect, remove that accent off the tongue. You have to do that so that way you have a chance to at least communicate with more walks of life instead of having someone, you know, hear your dialect and instantaneously, you know, cut you off. And so that's what East Coast people would do. Like I said, I can swivel in between ebonics and, you know, speaking properly, I guess, and, you know, stuff like that. But another thing is I'm always learning. I'm always trying to evolve. I'm always trying to take in knowledge, and knowledge is usually concealed in books or through word of mouth, because it's not what you know, it's who you are around, who you share space with. And you can pick up some gems, man. Listen, some coffee shops, like I said, you have different styles of coffee shops. You'll have like the corporate one that everyone goes to and they're in the suits and stuff. Then you have like the hippie one. Then you have like this urban, you know, poetry artsy one. There's different styles. But the one thing they're all in accord or all in an agreement with is peace. Don't nobody be gangbanging at the coffee shop. There is no, listen, they not going for none of that. You will not disturb coffee time. So nonetheless, you know, neo soul it was the ambient music that was playing in my coffee shop. And I used to cut school, and people used to, you know, this is how sad I come from, or the place I come from, the place I grew up. I would cut school or I would leave or whatever. And when I hooky school, I used to chill at the library. I used to go to the library, I would take out books, I would go to the coffee shop, and I would get lost in a novel. I would get lost. Oh, don't let it be fiction. like a good fictional book. And it wasn't like I would read Black authors, but I just read all types of books, all types of books. And the funny thing is that I would come back home, and let's just say I got in trouble for cutting school or something like that. My mom or something would assume, oh, you was over a boy's house. You were doing this, you were doing that. And I would just let her think it. I've learned that in life. I learned to let people just think whatever you want, because I don't want you coming to my coffee shop anyway and messing up the ambiance over there. If people find out that you know a place that's peaceful and beautiful, they will come to destroy it. So that is why listen, I'll let you think whatever. I hope you think I'm out here banging everybody, because that means that my place of peace is intact. My safe haven is intact. And is it beautiful, man? It's beautiful to know you have a safe place to go. And the safe place for me is the coffee shop. Let me say, Ray David, Gem of You, ready, way too fly. I tell you, ready. Is that y'all? Is that a name of y'all group? Gem of You? Let me see. You got to tell me if that's the name of a group that you're in. Next time you go for a coffee, you tell them, make me a drink. Staff choice, surprise me. Reaction is class. I will try that. I've not, I've seen a video where they did that, but I heard that the staff usually remembers, like those baristas, they remember you and they'll make something even still you would like, that they don't put their opinion or their thing to it. So, because I think they take pride in I think they take pride more so in remembering it. Like they take pride in remembering your drink. Because I don't know how many people they serve, but I'm sure it's a lot. But I think they take absolute pride in making your drink, knowing the temperature, knowing how you like it, knowing what additives you like. So I'll definitely do that for sure. Though next time I go, I'm going to say, make me something, make me what you like, or surprise me, like you said, and that's like, I'm going to try to record. I'm going to make a vlog out of it. So listen, guys, I wanted to get into the habit, instead of me just, talking aimlessly, because that's the one thing at the coffee shop that usually goes down. Someone will literally just sit down next to you and strike up a conversation. So I have put in the section, or should I say in the StreamYard, the link. You guys are more than welcome to call in. We Be Trucking, you're more than welcome to call in, because I know that you're sitting at the shipper and stuff. But the coffee shop experience is, I put it this way, as a lady, as a woman, it was also a place for me to understand the dating scene better. It's one thing to sit and strike up a conversation at a club, at a bar, because the intentions are unsavory. The intentions are unknown. But, a conversation over coffee at the coffee shop in the morning, I mean, it's probably some of the most honest conversations you can have. Like, it's just so honest. First of all, you don't even really technically want to have it, but at the same time, you just want to make polite conversation, and you just never know who's around, who's going to surprise you. But I mean, even with that being said, it was a place that I kind of understood the art of conversation. It's not loud. It's early in the day, meaning usually, when you're in a daytime setting, you're automatically going to have a certain decorum with you. You're automatically going to be acting on your best behavior. I'm laid up next to Mr. and the bunch. Oh no, then just vibe out with me then. Let him get his rest. And I developed the art of conversation. Because see, I'm by me being older, the medium in which I date or was dating was not through the internet. It was not texting and doing that. It was meeting people, having conversations. That's the era in which I come from. You sat down and first impressions was a thing. You sat down, you talked to people, and you get to know them and stuff. But I see why it's moved to the internet, because there's a layer of protection there. That's another thing. It's like, people are not so quick to, act erratically because they're protected. But I hate to be this way. I hate to be this way. Women has lost the art of conversation. I know they're gonna say, "There you go." See, two fly, you were doing good. You were doing good, and you didn't put us under the bus. No, hear me out. Vibe with me on this. We've lost the art of conversation. I don't know about y'all, but I used to love being on the phone for hours, talking about everything under the sun. I used to love talking on the phone. You go to sleep. No, you go to sleep. Talking about things that happened when I was a child, talking about the favorite place I went to for food, just hearing a funny joke, telling a funny story, talking about, you know, things I remember at a camp experience. I remember, the conversation used to be so dope, yo. See? And see, the reason why I speak this, because see, I look at it as I'm looking at what the consensus are. I'm not a woman that's going to sit up here and take sides. I'm just going to look at the data. You ain't even most of their IG stories are just them pointlessly looking at the camera making stupid faces. Go Phoenix, give us a shot, man. Come on, give us a chance. We be trying to say I tried internet dating one time, and one time only. It went all the way wrong. He was 200 pounds in his profile and 1,000 pounds in person. I felt lied to. See, okay. All right. So let's play the devil's advocate. We be trucking. Did you go to there with the intent based off of the 200 pounds? Or should I say the physicality? Or did you, because see, this is where I'm at with dating. Dating should be a vulnerability thing, meaning if we come there based off of physicalities, we might will not even show up. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing: if a person could be exactly what they look like, you don't know what the inside is. That's why, like I said, back in the day, you would just conversate with people. And then it didn't matter. That's why a lot of our mothers and fathers, especially our grandmas and grandpas, a lot of them are kind of mismatched. Like you'd be like, you like him? Like you guys are worlds apart, or you guys are polar opposites. It's because there's something in the person that is like, dude, I love this guy, or yo, I love this woman. And that used to be the thing. It used to be, I resonate or I connect with this person. Forget the physicalities. And so when internet dating came and stuff, and remember, I'm gonna take you back, we be trucking. Party line. Girl, you remember the party line? Girl, that was basically like the beginning of internet dating, was the party line. It was because what it was doing was the party line, it would get you emotionally charged. You're talking to people and then you don't know what that person looks like. You don't know what this person look like, but you know he makes you feel a certain way. He's saying all the right things. He's talking to you in a dope tone and stuff. I mean, it was monumental what the party line did for everybody. I don't know if y'all remember that, but the party line was the precursor to internet dating. Precursor. And what I took from the party line, this is what I took from it. I said, you know what? When I meet someone or talk to someone, he could be fine as frog's hair. He could be fine as frog's hair. But if I can't connect with him, like on a something has to click, ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work. Ray David. Oh, okay. Let me know, Ray, if you come on in and stuff like that. I did see you populate, but you probably backed out for a second. So, let me know if you want to call back in. It's perfectly fine. You are definitely a friend to the channel. Let me see. He was barely able to walk overnight. Dang, girl. Over. Oh, wait, overweight. I thought you said overnight. These boots are made for walking. We are lying if we don't admit physical attributes are important. I play pro women's football all the time. I'm not saying that it doesn't, right? I'm not saying that we can't consider it. The thing is, what happens when physical attributes decline over time? We live in a state of now we don't think about it logically as a progressive thing. Physical attributes when you're dating someone in the beginning won't be after 10 years. That's why a lot of people like to stay in the honeymoon phase. Cases and studies have shown that most people are tired of their partners by year 4. And that's when the whole we got to spice it up routine comes up. Now you got to wear wigs and you got to pretend to be a stranger and, meet me over here. And my name is Deborah. Like, what I mean? It's like it starts becoming you wanting to feel taboo again. You want to feel that feeling again. And the easy thing to do is just accept the fact that, hey, we're going to get old. You're not going to look like this. And men are usually, let me tell you something. Shout out to the men. Because a man, usually, if he loves that woman, he don't care what you look like. He could say, yo, she was fine as frog's hair. Then you have a couple of kids, you gain some weight. He'll still be with you, yo. To the day God call you home. Especially back in the day. Everyone knows someone or had a grandma who was mean, surly, and everything. And the grandpa, he's just right there. And we would think, why do you deal with her? And he'd be like, I know her. I know her heart. I remember when she was a looker. I remember when she used to stop the show. She put that ankle meat out, that kneecap out. Boy, it made everybody lose their jobs. Made everybody want to come be with her. Physical attributes are definitely important, but also the progression of your relationship. Because what happens if you meet the perfect person? They look absolutely stunning. They look absolutely beautiful. And then their face gets slashed. Or for women, usually attraction be when a man loses their job. When a man loses their job, that's when it's like, okay, ooh. And so it's very important that we find something past physical looks. We find something that's past that and we develop that. You know what I'm saying? We continue with that. We keep, like I said, keep evolving. Because I mean, the the thing I found interesting about my dating life is that none of the men are the same. They don't look the same. They were not in the same field. Like I don't have a type. I just vibed off of who the person was. Straight up. I don't have a type. The one thing I will say out of all of them, and this is including um my ex-husband, we all had beautiful times together. That was the one commonality. I said, damn, that's the one thing I do know is that we were both vulnerable to have beautiful times together. And so that's my thing that I look for. Can I have a beautiful time with you? Can I have it where, on some Janet Jackson, funny how time flies when you're having fun? That's the type of time I'm on. You know what I'm saying? And so the art of conversation, because conversation honestly is a currency. It's a form of currency. It's a form of currency. It's valuable. It closes $1 million deals. It talks you out of parking tickets. You know what I'm saying? Knowing how to converse with people is. We be Chuck said, I don't care about looks, but don't catfish me. That's the scary. I feel you, girl. Have you we be Chuck, have you ever seen that MTV joint Catfish? Yo, you gotta check that. That thing be having me on the floor. That catfish thing be on. Like, listen, they even have it where they have been running that program so much that they have like the top 10 or the best ones, like reveals. That MTV. Shout out to what's his name? Nev or Neve. Shout out to him, man. He's the real MVP. Because he got catfish so bad, he didn't spawn a whole TV show. He said, oh no, this is serious. I will be stopping at no regard and I will be out. I mean, it started off innocently as a documentary, and that thing went so viral because that's when it was kind of like, you know, it was just epic to think that people were doing this. Like it was just like because again, we're looking at things like what is it like? We're hoping that people are sensible and we're hoping that people are, human beings and adult like. So it really shined a light on how petty and crazy people are in the world. But no, that's what I feel you, girl. I do. Catfish. She was like, don't you do it. Don't you try. Don't you catfish me. I'ma just walk away from the table. We be trucking. Looks like she will be sitting at the table. Dude comes up, he sits down. She's just gonna get up. She ain't even gonna say. She just get up and put on her coat and leave. There will be no closure from me. You came out incorrectly. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, I'm just imagining her, just doing that. I think it's hilarious. All the men I've dated as an adult are highly intelligent. Being able to learn from someone is attractive. I agree. The thing that I've gotten, I how can I put this? I date my peers. I don't necessarily. I tried the whole dating someone that was older or more reformed or more well cultured or more experienced, and my interpretation of that is, I just didn't want it where a person feel like they like I didn't do my part in things. I'm a hands-on person. It's probably because I'm a creative by nature, and I didn't like I said, it's one thing to learn from someone. It's another thing to, like I said, bounce ideals and to go through life pretty much parallel with that person. So, like I said, I've dated older guys, you know what I mean, and stuff. And the thing that always tripped me out about them is that they have they have this stance like, if it wasn't for me showing you this, you would be a savage. Like, you know what I mean? And so I started to say, well, you know what? I want a shoulder to lean on too, or I want someone to, ask for my opinion, and my opinion can be validated, and things like that. And so I started to say, I need to date my peers, and my peers are people that's in the same boat as me. Technically, like if someone was trying to get, their situation together, trying to build their business or get into a certain level of life and stuff like that, as would I, why not do it together? Why not be each other's support system? You know what I mean? You got my back, I got yours, you know what I mean? And again, I know that it's not the ideal situation today, but to me, it was a standard that worked for my grandparents. So I figured, all right, I'll give it a shot. And that's why my whole relationship changed. Like I noticed that relationships were just different when I'm dating someone that's around my same age group. Like when we're talking about, different things that we grew up and stuff, we can identify with each other. Like me and Sean will be talking like, yo, we just watched the Biggie documentary. Right. We watched the Biggie documentary. This was told from that dude, his best friend that they grew up on Fulton Street. Or I think no, Biggie grew up on Fulton Street. The dude actually grew up like around the corner. But he basically vlogged, like he has all the footage of Biggie from a baby, like from, like as a teen coming up. And me and Sean was just singing the songs, and we were talking about where we were at that time, 92, 93, 94. Like it was, and to me, that's what like I said, like to me, those are the best moments, yo. Like when you're able to recollect and vibe with someone and they understand. Like I said, like with older people, they it's always this slight like, oh, here we go. You know what I mean? It's like they have to come down to you. With a younger person, they just don't know, and God bless them because they be trying. They be like, yeah, I remember, and just be mumbling the words of the song. Poor baby, just be mumbling them Marvin Gaye songs. But I think the point I'm trying to make is that when you have someone, like I said, that walks through life with you and it's around the same era and stuff, there's a sense of familiarity that happens. There's a sense of, okay, you do remember, that, oh man, you were doing that, or you do remember Sergio Valentes. Oh, okay, all right. Oh, you do remember British Night. Like it's just a thing that happens. And I think it's beautiful. Like I said, it's just my opinion, y'all. Don't please. I am not telling nobody nothing. I'm just talking about me and my interactions. And I just hope that it's just another way. That's what I like to tell people. Another way. Let me see. I can't stand when a chick got so much makeup on, she looks like a different Cold Phoenix. This is a place of peace. A creature for that matter. That's live action catfishing. You know what? This is why I don't deal with you young cats. Because the one thing I will say is y'all are funny. Live action catfishing. I gotta take a sip of coffee. I can't do this with you. I can't. I can't do it. Oh God. I'm sorry. I'm stealing that gold Phoenix. I swear I am. Live action catfishing, like fly fishing, basically. Like this. But in the flesh, like this is minute to minute. Oh, Jesus Lord. I'm sorry. That was just funny to me. You got to be I think I'm just a nerd by nature. So it's like, I get it. Oh, that wordplay was awesome. Anywho, go Phoenix. You want time out, bro. You on fire today. That lavender latte is doing something to your spirit. It's doing something to you. And you are on fire today. Older men are my peers. I'm old at heart. My husband is 7 years older than me. He's the hip one. No, I get it. Like I said, I'll put it to you this way: if it works, right? There's a difference between the naysayers and the outliers. And so, if it works, it's usually not the norm, because if we were to use it as a double standard, a lot of older women, or should I say, if we were to use it double standard wise, a lot of older women don't really have the same understanding or interpretation of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually an older woman, when she has a younger guy, she's trying to get him up to her level. And usually men that are older, they're looking at it as, listen, you know what I'm saying? Your contribution is it's nice and it's beautiful, and but he's thinking of it as like, he's at that age, or he's at that stature in life where he has to be there regardless, whether you're with him or not. He has to do it regardless. Like, and that's the thing, as women, like I said, when I say things like this, it's because I'm coming at it from a different perspective. I'm coming at it from a feminine perspective. I can't look at it from a male's perspective. I'm looking at it as, okay, as an older person, regardless if you're here or not, as a man, his trajectory in life is measured by how successful he is. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's measured by that. Like, he has to have if he's 40 and he's still living in an apartment, to the world, he's just nothing. Like, that's just how the world sees him. So when men go out into the world, they have a completely different mask that they wear. They have to come out with the bravado, like, I'm the stuff like that. And then they go home, they take that mask off. That's why men value their home as a place of peace. And when men don't want to come home, when men find a way to not come home, that's a tall tale sign. It's just not peaceful. You got some men that come home and they don't mind hearing their kids act crazy and stuff, because it's a sense of pride. It's a sense of, he's made it. He loves hearing the pitter patter of little feet. He loves hearing them fight and cry and stuff like that, because it makes his heart swell to know that he's here to hear it. And so, like I said, he has his reasonings for things. As far as, like I said, with older women, or should I say, if we were to flip the standard, they don't look at it the same way. They just don't. I know. She said, I know a lot of women dating their daddies. You're crazy. But you're right, though. A lot of women, they it's not that, you know what? It's beyond them dating their father. It's them feeling a void. Like I said, I don't want to date someone. I don't need. I don't see this. See, we be trucking. We didn't flip this. No, I refuse it. I rebuke thee in the name of Jesus. No, I'm not doing it. We're going back to coffee talk. Shout out to Go Phoenix with this one, because he's a mess. All I'm going to say is, I get it. There's a lot of things that are apparently weird, but for the most part, if they're happy, man, like, that's where I'm at with it now. If they're happy and it works, like I said, if it works, if you ain't hurting nobody, hey man, go at it. Go at it. If you're not hurting nobody, but if it hurts you, if you can't sleep out at night, if you can't lay your head down on that, I think that, because that's what really matters the most. It's not if you're hurting people, it's really, does it hurt you? And people are not willing to be that transparent, honest. Can you go to sleep at night? Can you lay down knowing you don't feel right about this situation? And how long can you do it? Because you got some people that do it to the point where they become so numb to it. It's like, yo, this is what it is. And to me, I think that's the worst thing to do, is to swallow the unhappiness to that degree. But like I said, some people are cool with that. Some women like dating older men that can constantly teach them things. That's a thing that they like. They like because it puts it's kind of like a taskful thing. Like it's a okay, well, you're teaching me something, so now I have to learn it and apply it, and then okay, now you taught me that, you have to, and it just keeps it where it's in this, they're learning, because like I said, most people like to evolve and like to learn, so that makes sense. But like I said, to each his own. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna go down that road. We be trucking, dang girl. We got a different segment for that. That is New Regime Entertainment. Go Phoenix, I swear, man. I'm not accepting this from you. I'm not accepting it from you. Good morning, Reggie Roberts. I am so sorry. I did not see that. My bad. Listen, let's pay some bills really quick. Listen, guys, if you want to support the show, hit the cash at waytwoflybaby or Venmo. You can also go over to my Patreon. My Patreon is being set up so that way you guys can have the opportunity to cook alongside with me. That's right. I am willing to have it where, one, it's a place of us to vibe out and stuff, and just have a sacred place for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, just have a place where we can sit, chill, and stuff like that. But I legitimately want to help you guys as much as I can, especially when it came to eating on the truck. That was a huge hurdle, and I got it very I had a strict regimen, or should I say, what I mean, besides us, taking time out to go to a Waffle House or Papa News, shout out to Papa News, and, just eating accordingly, because sometimes the time or the situation call for it. But nonetheless, over there on the Patreon, like I said, I have comprised, my what was it, the items, the equipment that I had, the recipes that were tried and true that worked, made it so that way the cleanup was effortless. Because that was the one thing that it would bother me to the core. And it's probably because I'm a woman. I could not just pick up and clean the dishes. It had to be some wild out situation. Like, I had to have a dish bucket. And then sometimes I wanted to make sure that the stuff was piping hot. I would, make a pot of just hot water. It was a mess. The cleanup part was the part that was, to me, the worst. So I figured out a way around it and kept it so that way it was relatively easy, virtually mess free, and still sustainable for me and another adult to live off of. So I do have a couple of Patreons that are over there. Like I said, today, I was supposed to start it yesterday, but I had a lot of stuff that came up. But today I will be going live through Patreon to welcome you guys and see you guys, and really, have it where it's interactive. I feel like the Patreon will be dope as an interaction thing. You guys get to know me a little bit more better. I'll show you guys and stuff like that. I will also have the video form content and stuff as well. And so there's going to be a lot of great things that's going to be happening in that regards. But nonetheless, I totally appreciate you guys. Like I said, share the content as well. There's probably people, especially with trucking, where they necessarily don't want to wake up to the drama. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just don't want to wake up with it. I mean, they enjoy it. Don't get it messed up now. Everybody like good drama now, but maybe not so early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, something they can vibe out with and chill and max relax, and then, segue into a drama afternoon. Peaceful mornings, drama filled afternoon, back to peaceful nighttime, so they can sleep, to rinse and repeat. So I put the link into the description, or should I say the chat. You guys are more than welcome to call in. I'm going to take a pause for the calls really quick, pour me another cup of coffee. If I come back and I see people in the queue, let's get the conversation going and let's talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I am down. So let's start off with a little bit of vibes. All right, I am back. I had to do something real quick. Let me see now. All right, okay, hold on now. 1 second. There we go. All right, so I am back, guys. I took a pause for the calls. I just wanted to pour myself another cup of coffee. Thank you guys so much for still sticking around. Makes me feel wonderful. Oh, like I said, guys, coffee and morning vibes they go together like peanut butter and jelly. I mean, really, it's just such a dope situation that could be happening over coffee right now. Like I said, I'm trying to get into the habit of just being aware that drama comes. I'm a human being. Sometimes people pluck my nerves and I go there. Is it a habit? Eh, you know, I'm getting it under control to a certain degree. But nonetheless, nothing should be able to interrupt peace that you want at that time. And that's something where I'm trying to create this for you guys. I'm trying to have it where, for an hour or so, more or less, we are able to at least just be in a fortified state of mind. That, you know what, if today is going to be bad, at least I had a cup of coffee. At least I was chilling today. At least I can reflect back and say, you know what, today I did take some time out for myself. I did, figure out what the day was going to bring us up. So it gives you a standard. And what happens is over time, over habits, it will become second nature to you. You'll start to choose better in life. You'll start to make decisions more clearly in life. Things will not interrupt that peace, especially if it makes you happy. And like I said, I can be completely honest and say, I pretty much had a peaceful life. I know me coming on to the YouTube platform was what some will say, not worth the stuff that I've been through, but I think it was refreshing. I looked at it as, I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still able to get things done. That holds no bearing on me. The opinions and thoughts of others is just that. It's an opinion and a thought. It does not move me. It does not make me turn left when I know I need to go right. It does none of that. It really doesn't. Because that's the true power. The true power is if someone can literally change your direction of life. And that's something I'm not going for none of that. Not when I know, having a cup of coffee, watching the sunrise is a thing. Knowing that there's cool people to vibe with, that's a thing. Knowing that there's people that, express or feel the same way that I feel about having peace, about not being chaotic all the time. You know what I mean? And it's a daily fight that I'm willing to take. Like I said, it's not about being perfect. It's just about being aware, situational awareness, knowing that there's a time and place for everything and that you come first. You can't help nobody if you can't help yourself. You can't help nobody if you're down. You can't help nobody if you're going through stuff. So just having the time to just reflect, chill, vibe, assess your behavior, assess your mood, priceless. Let's get back to these comments. By the way, I'm actually super down to earth. I let Tiny down easy. I'm super sensitive, so I try not to hurt others. Who's Tiny? Are you talking about T.I.'s Tiny? What's Tiny? I let Tiny down easy. You gotta tell me who Tiny is. I'm super sensitive, so I try not to hurt others. Here's where I'm at with it. Am I sensitive? No, I could be crash and brass at times and brazen. I think I'm at a point where I'm more aware of choice in life now. I'm very selective in who I let in my hemisphere, who I let in my orbit. There's a lot of people that think that are close to me. They think that they're close to me, but I can assure you they're not. There's a lot of people that think that they have some type of hold over me. I can assure you they don't. But like I said, I choose now to be around people where I don't even have that thought. You know what I mean? Like the people that I vibe with and hang with, and they check on me, and we vibe and we have conversations and we go through life experiences and stuff. These people, it's like it's a sense of safety. Like I don't have those worries no more. I don't worry about someone in my circle is going to hurt me. I don't have it anymore. I just don't. Because when I'm hurt, they check on me. That's when I knew that I was with the right people. Well, if something happened to me, they're calling me. Yo, what's going on? Are you okay? Do you need to talk? I remember one time, this one I knew I had good people in my life. I was going through something. And, as women, we're always viewed as being strong and we can, nothing happens, nothing, what's it call it? Right. Okay. We supposed to just take anything and all this other stuff. And, I did say that I was fine. I was like, I'm fine and stuff. And that person said, okay, you fine. That's cool. Check this out. Get dressed. We going out and we just going to go wherever you want to go. We're going to do whatever you want to do. And so I go out and stuff like that. And literally at the table, I just start breaking down crying. Broke down, cried, tears coming down and stuff. And they said, see, I told you that you were hurt. I told you, I said, no, I said, for the first time, I have someone that like cares. I don't have someone that's saying, oh, well, you'll be fine and just take my word for it. I have someone that cares enough to know me personally to know like no one should go through what you should go through. Or if I was you, that would crush me. And it was an understanding. And that bond, grew strong. And that's when I set the standard in my life. I said, I want to be around people who understand me as much as I try to understand and be there for them. Like, I don't want to have to tell people I'm cool. I'm a cool person to be around, or I'm a cool friend. I don't have to do that no more. A person should just know by being around me. Like, yo, this person is cool. She's dope. She gives the shirt off her back. Like, that's when I started to realize it was the people around me that shouldn't be around me. And then I stopped being sensitive, and I just, what I mean? Like I said, those idiosyncrasies about myself started to just dissipate. They just started to just fall to the wayside. And now, like I said, when I'm around the people that I'm around now, they're so secure in their life that they're just awesome friends to have now, because it's just, like I said, it's an appreciation, because they don't have, I mean, everyone has like the stuff that they go through in life, but they're secure. Like, they know how to get through stuff. Like, if something happened, God forbid, they can get through life. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be the one to solicit the advice, or I don't have to be the one to come to the rescue all the time. Like, we all lean on each other through life's disadvantages, through life's normal process, right? Like, if there's a death in the family, or something, someone went through something crazy, or maybe someone, whatever the case may be, we were able to help each other in that regard. And you can't put a price on that, man. And like I said, that helped me out with a lot of stuff, because I have a brick wall. I was a brick wall, yo. I would act like nothing affected me. And I've gotten through life that way. Being like, this a moat, a wall, a brick. Like, I really, really, really did it. What you've been going through has affected me, and I just started watching you. I don't understand fixating on anyone in such a negative way that you would publicly attack them like they have you. you know, Here's where I landed with it. Or should I say, let me in a brief way explain to you what has happened. Is you hurt people more when you walk away. When you walk away from things, it shows the person that's trying to attack you, you have more strength than them. The reason why I'm publicly attacked to the way that I am is, not only did I walk away, but I have no problem coming to fight back from time to time. Now, I don't fixate myself on it like that, but the reason why most people would be affected by my situation is because they don't understand, why would it be good for the goose and not good for the gander? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, wait a minute, there's plenty of people that been through a nasty divorce. There's plenty of people that been through a painful separation. There's plenty of people that been through what I've been through. But for some odd reason, I'm held to a certain standard. Like, I'm held to a different standard. It's twofold. One, I'm wildly intelligent. So they're expecting me to be responding as what they believe people like they're trying to paint me to be. And then the second thing is that it doesn't affect me. I'm not here to argue your opinion of me. That's your opinion. That's why I don't go through the whole, I'm not a whore, I'm not this, because listen, man, I'm not going to waste my time on that. I was married for 4 years. Faithfully married to this man for 4 years. I didn't run from Philly. My husband at the time had a job in Arizona, and we moved to Arizona, and I lived in Arizona for several years. And then from Arizona, I decided, let's be a truck driver. Why? Because that was his dream. And I said, you know what? As your wife, let's invest in your dream. But see, no one wants to hear that. Nobody wants to understand that. The lie and the negativity and painting me to be something that's way more profitable. See, what I did was unprecedented. I stood in the face of it and said, now what? Let's see how far you're willing to go. And I sat back and watched. I looked at, first of all, I looked at men, not women, males. Males, not women. Because if you guys notice, we be trucking. There's not a lot of women that's speaking out because there's a lot of women that's in my position. A lot of women that left abusive relationships, left unstable relationships. There's a lot of women that are trucking right now, and they have someone that's trying to chase them and do something to them. And that's why I stood up, because I stood up. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, time out. I'm not the only person that's been through something like this. And for you to exploit me in that way, now mind you, the only person that is the catalyst in this, we be trucking, is the one that I left. See, what my ex-husband did, he could no longer control me. And when they can't control you no more, they have to control the narrative. So he's the one that supplied the weaponry. And he gave it to the person he gave it to. Who better than a person that is publicly a coon? Publicly. A person that will selectively have Black women that are, salacious and doing their thing, whatever, and then turn around the same breath and call me all types of names. I mean, who better? And like I said, the thing that makes me feel good is that that's all you can talk about. I mean, if you talk about anything else, you wouldn't be real. You wouldn't be, what's the word? You wouldn't be accepted. And see, I'm not about what anyone has to say. I'm not worried about, the opinions of others. I'm not here to be accepted. Because that's not how the world takes it. The world does not have to accept you. The world does not have to deal with you. You're not a gifted. And that's why I do what I do. It may be a person, and let me tell you, I've had women come up to me. And I'm talking about this one girl that came up to me, straight up, y'all. She came up to me and she hugged me, yo. She straight up hugged me. I didn't pull out my camera. I didn't make a public thing about it. I just felt her, yo. She gave me a hug, I gave her a hug, and she just cried. She literally cried for a little bit. And it was one of those things where it didn't have to be said. And the last thing she said to me was, she said, yo, your strength is unparalleled, though. She was like, my hat tips off to you. And I said, this is something beyond me. What is happening to me is beyond me. I can't control it. But what I hope that it does, I hope that it just puts things into perspective. And the perspective is, there's no corner on this earth for a Black woman to be safe. There's no corner on this earth for a woman to be safe. So the least you can do is stand tall, stand with conviction, and you keep doing what you got to do. Because remember, it's all content. I'm not supposed to have it's not supposed to affect me. So I do this for the people that are affected. I want you guys to have take from it like, damn, man, shit. Maybe you just need a cup of coffee and shake that, shake it off and then, keep on stepping because that's how the world is. I take this as this is how the world will react. If I was to call and make a plea and stuff like that, even if I was to cower to it, it wouldn't change anything. Then I will be living in secrecy. I feel sad for, let me tell you something. You know who I feel sad for? I feel sad for the women that can't speak out. I feel sad for the women that are legitimately old prostitutes and whores, and they can't tell the husbands that they're with now because the husbands will turn around and probably get rid of them. That's who I feel sad for. The people that went into their situations lying. That's who I feel sad for. That you cannot live in your truth. You can't live. You know me. If you were to tell your story, it changes everything. See, that's the thing. That didn't happen to me. My story wasn't told. Someone tried to put it out there for me, and I just look at it as you can't tell my story better than me. That's all I said. I was like, dude, hey man, say whatever you want. I know me, and Sean knows me. Sean looked at my character. Most men look at your character. That's why most pimps marry their bottom hoes because the character spoke for itself. I know this bitch is trustworthy. Like that's what they did. I know you're trustworthy. There's certain men value things differently from women. And so that's why, with me, I just looked at it as, hey man, the only opinion that matters is the one I'm sharing life with. And men that love their women, like seriously love their women, yo man, they'll tooth to nail, they'll fight for them. They don't care. So, I appreciate that we be trucking. I really do. Cause like I said, to be honest with you, you're one of the first. When this stuff started, we be trucking, cause this has been going on for a while. This is months. You're catching there's a lot of catching up to do, girl. I didn't have no one reach out to me. If I'm going to be all the way honest, I ain't had no woman will reach out to me. I didn't really have nobody say to me, yo, are you okay? I think they said it in a way like, whoo, girl, you okay? And I tried to connect with those people, but they didn't keep up with it. They just, as the stuff was unraveling, unfolding, they were doing like what most people do. They were saying, okay, I'm just going to believe what it is because I'm not addressing it in the way that's normal. Usually women will start off with the whole, start crying and start talking. I didn't do none of that. I was just honest because the truth of the matter is we be trucking. I never said that I didn't. I didn't come across as people try to paint me or pigeonhole me to be a goody two shoes. No, I never did any of that. It was just more so, it was just it was like, dude, like, okay, what happens now? You know what I'm saying? Like it was just, I don't give it. So, I mean, it's all good, man. It's just, it's one of those things where you got to laugh at it. Like I said, another thing is I ain't no young girl. You know what I'm saying? Like one thing my grandma used to say, God himself wanted to come down here and get me. Like that was a thing. I used to laugh, yo, because like, it was like the adamancy of it. She was like, yo, man, I don't care what nobody got to say. She was a married woman herself, raised, her three children. My grandfather came on every night. You know what I'm saying? And so I was fortunate to have a woman that was logical with me, as well as training me to be emotionally aware. You know what I'm saying? She's a person that contribute very heavy into how I maneuver and how I was. Now, again, she's off this planet now, right? Like, she's no longer there. And so I'd struggle with trying to stay in the mind frame as if she was here. And I do that sometimes. So when y'all see me go off the rails, if my grandma was sitting right here, I wouldn't be doing none of that. I'm old school. I wouldn't dare do none of that. But that's the thing that's always struggled with me. I try to remember, the life and the love she poured into me, and let that be my my rod. Let that be my lightning rod and stuff, and keep that. So it's a daily thing, man. It's a daily practice. It's a daily practice to wake up. And like I said, that's why I think the coffee vibe thing is really what I do to get through. That's my way of getting through things. Before I wake up and get into the mess, I'm gonna take 10 minutes and drink this cup of coffee, right? And get situated and stuff, and really just put on the armor. Because everyone got problems, everybody got stuff they got to deal with. But just taking that 10 minutes, man, I tell you, man, it really changes your day. Because let me tell you something, when I have that cup of coffee, half the stuff that I see or brought to my attention, it really don't matter. I'm like, whatever. I still got to do morning vibe coffee. I got content that I got to do. I got to, I just have to continue on. You know what I mean? And so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate that we be trucking straight up and down. I appreciate, like I said, a lot of women, they're not going to come up to me and say, especially publicly, because the one thing a woman they don't want no one coming at them. They don't want that light to shine on them, and then someone dig into their past, and someone, evaluate how much stuff they got on their jacket. They don't want that. So they don't, they back away like, whoop, And so that is why, when you have women like yourself, and I've had a couple of women, reach out to me. Like I said, I have a mentor. She reached out to me. She just watched the whole thing played out, and she just said, whatever you need to call me. I was like, no, I'm good. She's like, no, you don't get it. Whatever you need to call me. Because she said the grace that you have with this. And she said, I love that you'll be graceful, and then you'll just take a pause for the calls and just come back. And then she said, you reel it back. And she was like, it's an artistry that you have. And I was like, I appreciate her. She checks on me every day, yo. She checks on me every day. She'd be like, are you good? Are you okay? Because she said that's really what we all need in life. We just want to make sure that the people that we say that we care about, the people that we resonate with, or the people that we do identify with, make sure they're okay, because it represents a part of you. So I appreciate that. I really do. I really do. We be trucking. I really do. I mean, I have people like Highway Journey, Andrea. Oh man, y'all better not get Andrea up in here. I got people that really, women that's really like, they really get it. You know what I mean? And they see it and understand things to be. But it's one of those things where you just became my new best friend. I swear, anyone who can give me a character analogy using the bottom hoe is invited to the cook. You gotta bring a dish though, because I can't cook. I got you. We be trying. Yo, oh man, you're my sister from another mister. You don't even understand it, yo. That's hilarious. Character now. I mean, again, it's just logic, yo. It is, yo. That's my biggest thing about the whole thing. I'm like, when did it become cool to do this? We're in cancer culture, yo. When did it become cool to outright just be this darn crazy? That's why, like, I'll have someone like Rich Music, and stuff, because when you think about this, and I look at it this way, as much as people love you, there's a lot of people that hate you, and that's vice versa. There's a lot of people that love what is happening, but there's a lot of people that they can't deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I would ask the dudes, like I had a couple of people call me and comment on it or ask me about it, right? And I would ask them the question like this. I'm like, so let me ask you something. Could this happen to your wife or your mother or something like that? And they all say the same thing. Oh, hell no, I'll kill that fool where he's standing. You know what I mean? I said, well, see, that's the thing. That's not an option for me. I'm not killing anyone over their opinion. I know, you know what I mean? That is why we stay in the same mind frame, because you have to evolve from that. You have to have some form of evolution. You have to commence. That just doesn't work. Killing someone over their opinion or their opinion of you it's the stupidest thing in the world. And real men ain't dealing with that. They don't care. What a real man do is he keeps trucking. He dusts himself off, especially ones that come from like that type of background. Like I say, usually the ones that we support the most that have a past is a retired drug dealer. A retired drug dealer will, especially he came from jail, he paid his debt to society, he'll brush himself off, and the community accepts him as a man because they see, oh, you trying, you change your ways. You know what I'm saying? And they respect him as a man. Women do not have that same leisure. They just don't. You could be a mother, you could be a wife and all that, but if it is found out that you got a porno tape back in the day, you are done. It's like you're going to have to change your zip code. And I think that's the part that, like I said, this is not a race thing. That's just a simple gender thing. And men know it to be true. That's why I said a lot of women, they're not going to speak up, because if you speak up and your man is walking through life thinking he has a good woman, a good girl, oh, he'll switch up that tune real quick. Wait, what? I'm sorry. How many sexual partners you have? That's why men can't handle that question. I tell women all the time, don't you tell no man nothing like that. He cannot handle how you handle things. He does not digest emotion like you digest emotion. He can't do that. Every man got to feel like he got a special one. And if you take that mystique away, you're through. That's a fact. You take that mystique away from a man, you are through. Now, you do have some men who will, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like they assess the situation. They'll say, you know what, all right, you used to do this or this, that, third, blah, 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 but you know what, your character supersedes that. You're obviously making changes. You have been consistent in them changes. You know what I mean? You treat me well. You're doing what you're supposed to do. I can respect that. And they'll carry through life with you. But the reason why I go through what I go through is because, see, you're not going to tear me down. You're just not going to do that. If that's listen, I will die 1,000 deaths before that happens. I'm just as important or just as valued as anybody on this planet. I don't use it as an excuse to do wrong, and I damn sure don't use it as a bargaining chip to sit at the table. I know my worth and my value. I am not someone that's out here doing causing harm or tearing people down. That is not who I am. That's not my character. I don't have to talk bad about people. One, because I ain't worried about you. But that does not mean I'm not a human being. And if I hear something that I want to speak on, I'm going to speak on. See, that's what I'm saying. That's the disconnect. I don't know where on planet Earth a man that considered himself to be a man can criticize and judge and tear down women. When did that become a thing? I thought men didn't even do that. I thought men didn't even care. That was like a woman thing to sit up there and investigate someone's past and try to find out what they got going on and put it out for the world to see. That's Wendy Williams' job. When did men start doing that? It was maybe because I'm older. I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing. for men to go into your past and dig into your past and put it together like an expose as if I'm going to run for office. Who does that? I'm like, dude, I'm not even famous yet. You were supposed to hold that and wait for the Lifetime documentary. Why are you doing this now? It's like you showed your hand too quick. But that's what snakes do. That's what people have to do. They have to do what they are destined to do. But it's behoove it of me. It will be, it's not for me to tell someone to stop being a dummy. That's something they have to come to their own reckoning with. There are people subscribed to your channel with the bell on just to come to dislike. 16 dislikes. All the thumbs down. Look at the hate. When I saw your story yesterday, it sent me on a 3-hour rant. The audacity, the colorism comments, and the racist comments like that, with a bunch of Black people in the comment and views egging it on. And do you see why I act the way I do, y'all? That's why I call them out. That was another thing that people wasn't doing. Because see, this whole YouTube thing, it waves, it ebbs and flows, right? So I'm like, well, wait a minute. If you come over here, why are you over here? And people used to say, what do you mean? I could be wherever I want. No, that's not how life is. You stay your behind over there. There is no going back and forth. Who said that? And if a person's in control of their situation, I should be in control of mine. I'm supposed to just take what you guys are talking about? No, you go, you stay over there, you talk about it. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying you can't come, you won't be welcome over here because I'm not welcome over there. Your character supersedes your past and my. Hey man, listen, I don't make it up, man. This is universal law that I'm talking about. Everyone's in agreement with that. Because see, I'm speaking facts. I'm not speaking opinion. I don't care what nobody did. I'm talking about you now. Who are you right now? Who are you right now? That's why another thing for me, when here's the thing that I do, and people don't even realize I do this. If I see that you even fraternize with those people, you can't come over here. That's how I take it. That was another thing that a lot of friendships were done. I was like, if you go over there, the way I look at it, you're like a stray cat. You ever had a cat that you took care of in your house and that little sucker got away and out in the street and he be trying to come back? Oh, no, you out there. No, you can't come back. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You'll let the dog back in. But that cat, because usually that cat come back pregnant or come back with all types of nonsense. That's why like I said, I'm on some other stuff, y'all. I'm on peace. I'm on, like I said, I didn't run from anything. It just got old. Being in drama and mess is old, yo. How long you gonna do it? How long you gonna call someone a B? How long you gonna talk about someone's past? How long are you gonna let rumors continue to grow? How long are you gonna formulate? How many dialects are you gonna say the word bitch? Like I mean, come on. Really? How long are you gonna do it? Yo, it gets old. It's just the stupidest thing in the world. Especially when it's old people. Like, dude, when you're in your 40s, you're supposed to be gearing and prepping for like, old age. Your ducks should be in order. You know what I'm saying? You should be having hobbies. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be on the bowling club. You should be macrameing, going to hot yoga. You're starting to step into the golden years. Whether you want to accept that or not, that's just what that is. Your metabolism is not as crazy. You know what I mean? Your what is it? Your tolerance for things is a little bit different. That's why people actually grandparents, they're the best at it, yo. They're the best people. Those are the people I love hanging with in the first place because they get it, yo. They be like, man, give me a Bud Light and a good story, and I'm good to go. Because everything has its time frame. Everything has a commencement. It's like you graduate from things just in normal succession. Like you just have to. You just have to do it. And when you don't, it shows. People notice when you are messy. People notice when you still have a childlike mind state. People know that. And then guess what people do? Out of shame, out of it's kind of like treating like that retarded cousin in your family. You just accept it about that person. Like, yo, this person's nuts, but I mean, whatever. They're related. You know what? No one tells you the truth. No one pulls you to the side anymore and say, yo, you looking real wild out here, yo. No one does that anymore. They just accept you for the piece of dookie that you are. And I think that sucks in life to know that everyone around you is not invested in you growing and being the best person that you can be. They actually accept you for the piece of dookie that you are. That's sad. All my hitters, all my people that's around me, yo, they expect nothing but the best from me because they're at their optimal prime. They're at their best. And because they're at their best, yo, it's just like, yo, it's invigorating. It's dope. It's cool to be around people that's getting it. Like I said, I don't have those problems no more. That was the first thing I realized. I said, yo, I'm with people that really love life, yo. Like they love life and they love, trying to do better. They love being in a position where, hey, I tried this. Okay, it didn't work, but listen, we're gonna go at it this way. It's like, it's like, it's like an eye opener to understand that is how people really do connect. That's how people network. They're trying to find people that are, like they're there, at least mentally. They may not be physically there. They may not have it all together, but they're there mentally. And that's like half the battle. You ain't lying because poor Lori Harvey is being drugged through the mud by men and women. If you stack a couple pic of everyone that any particular woman has dated, they look just like Lori. Psh, hey man. And like I said, for women, this is a difficult time for women because there is nothing finite. There's not, back in the day, things were very black and white. It was very simple. Now everything is up for interpretation, discussion. There's too many nuances. There's too many layers. I mean, you can be a whore. Like you could be a whore, but then you can't. Like you could pretend to be a whore, but you can't. If you was a whore, if you rap about it, then you're gonna get money. If you're a whore and you didn't make the money, if you don't get the Birkin bag, then you got to send them back to the streets. And it's just a hot mess. And I like to live in a more simpler time. I like to live simply. Like I said, I don't think a woman should ever have a problem finding a man. When you think about it. But, it's the thing that's happening is that you have uncertainty. You have people that move the goalposts. You have, another thing is people lie every day. People wake up and lie. They look themselves in the mirror and lie. You got people that live in apartments, right? They live in apartments and they wake up and tell people they're in a house. These little white lies become broad spectrum lies and they believe it themselves. You cannot, let me tell you something. The world is over. Nothing is what it seems. Nobody is really telling the truth. People only want you to see the good side of them. Nobody wants to own up to their stuff. No one wants to apologize when they did wrong. No one has principle anymore. Nobody follows their moral compass. Nobody takes a step back and asks themselves, what is the repercussions for what I'm about to do? Nobody does that no more. A lot of people were not raised to do it. A lot of people said, F it, I'm going to do whatever I want. There's a lot of things that are happening. And like I said, when you have someone like me, I'm basically like a Betamax. That's another thing. When I speak, usually the people that resonate with me is older people. These young cats, they don't know what's going on. These young women and men, they don't know. But there's some like Gold Phoenix, he has what you call like an old soul. We be trucking. He get it. Roscoe Green Marathon. He gets it because they're the thing about the generation after us now, they get to things quicker than what we did. See, us, we're finding out that our parents wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like now in our 30s and 40s, like you did what? But see, these kids now, they're hype. Yo, they know. They'll look you in your eye and say, yo, you ain't nothing. Why? Because why would you let me go through this and you went through that and that didn't serve you well? Why would you let me bumble and bruise? Why would you let me, I used to tell people this, if you're in a dark room, you're looking into a dark room and the person you love is walking and there's a hole in the ground. You know, some people, the first reaction they'll do is close their eyes. They will close their eyes. That's the first, because the thing that they're trying to do is steal their nerves for what the inevitable is about to be. This person's about to die. They're about to drop. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing. So they did a study. People that care, people that live outside themselves, meaning they know where they are in life, they will say, whoa, stop. They'll bang on the glass and alert that person. That's a person that cares about you. It was a documentary. It was the craziest documentary I've seen. They tested like 1,000 people for their reaction. And a lot of people closed their eyes. It was like, because they're looking through the glass, right? And they can't really see. And then all of a sudden they see the person about 2 steps from falling into a hole. And the first thing they did, men and women alike, they closed their eyes. Because they rather assess their emotion and how they feel than being in a position where they're helping others. But yet these are the people that claim that, you know, bull crap. And so I've given up on the whole trying to understand people as a whole. I only like understanding people that are invested in me and vice versa. When I tell somebody, yo, listen, I'm your friend, I'm a check up on you, I want you to check back up on me, and they do that, I don't have no problems after that. We be trucking.
What's happening?
Hey, girl. Put my headphones on. Oh, let me turn you up, baby. There we go. Oops. 1 second. Have my music still playing. There we go. Can you hear me, darling?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Let me see if anybody can hear me. We be trucking. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Perfect. I can hear you.
Okay. You're going to have to bear with me. I'm down here at the bottom of the earth in Florida.
What's the weather like down there?
Oh, it's a nice, it feels like 95, but I think it's only about 82. My deodorant says 95.
I know that's right. They're about to expire on me. Lord, it's like early in the morning. What's up, my gorgeous sister? What you got to say, baby?
I don't even have anything to say. I just been up here being a voyeur, so I figured I'd go ahead and call in now that I finally got on the road. But
Okay.
Girl, it's been a hot mess just watching what's been going on, and I'm just shocked. I keep talking to my husband. I'm like, "Do you see this? Can you believe this is happening?" And he's like, "Yeah, babe." He's like, "It's vicious people out there," and I'm just like,
Yeah,
I just have too much to do to fixate on anyone that isn't bringing me anything positive
yeah,
all day like these people are doing you.
yeah. No, it's a like I said, like I think like don't get me wrong, it old me like 10 years ago. Oh, listen, don't nobody do investigation like a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yo, I will get into the actual mindset like we've dated. Like I'm talking about private investigator, like freaking Inspector Gadget. I'm talking like Blues Clues, Scooby Doo, Mystery
Not
Unfold
Blues
type of
Clues.
shit. Girl, we taking it back. Nancy Drew. You know what I'm saying? I mean, straight up and down. But like I said, as when you get older, what happens is there's a lot of things that's just like, man, all right, okay. And that's when I knew, like when I seen and like I said, what happened was simple. My estranged husband basically just he didn't even do it. He just gave it out. He just put that, and he told me before he did it. Like he literally said, if you value your reputation, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to do this to you. So he did give me forewarning. I was like, F it, dude. You got to do, bro. I said, because I put you this way, it vindicates me. That means I wasn't supposed to be with you in the first place. And he did what he had to do. And so for me, that's why I'm so level headed about it, because I was like, what was I supposed to do? I was supposed to, oh no, don't, please no. Do what you gotta do, bro. That means I was right, period. And that is what I go through in life, knowing that what you did was the icing on the cake. The funny thing is that he's moved on. That's the funny thing. To my understanding, they keep calling him. Like he did it. He did it. He walked away from it. But
Right.
he's really not active. It's like he did it. That was his way of closure. And he's moved on with his life and stuff like that. Like to be honest with you, we don't have no beef. There is no talking to each other and stuff like that. That's the one thing I will say, because like I said, I guess because me and him come around from the same area, and like,
Right.
it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like he felt like that's what he had to do. And okay, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we did a collective of 10 years together. So, regardless of regardless of how it ended, it's just understood. Like, listen, man, you broke my heart, or I broke your heart, and I'm just gonna do this last fuck shit to you, and that's just what it is. I mean, I understood, but that's why I leave the areas in which that is a thing to do. I don't want to live or be around people that even think like that. That's what I came to the conclusion of. I said, I just don't want to be around those type of people. I want to be around people, if we part ways, it's all good. Because I mean, when you think about it, what did I do? All I did was just leave. I don't have a story where he beat me and stuff like that. It was just, we don't work. It was becoming an aggressive situation, meaning I was taking preventative measures. I said, you know what? This is not working. Every time we come to some type of resolve, it goes right back. And it was to the point where it was involving the family. It was involving my
Yeah.
mother. It was involving his children. He has two children. It was becoming very toxic for everyone involved. And I just did the adult thing. I said, you know what? This is not going to work. There's no counseling. There's nothing. There's certain things that just cannot be. You cannot fit
Yeah.
a square into a circle peg. And when I
And some
left,
things just have an expiration date too.
it just that's what it happens, man. It's no different than someone passing in your life. Sometimes
Yeah.
people, it could be a great thing, and then boom, they're just gone. And it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Because you should be valuing the time then and there. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
looking so far into the future that you forget your present. And like I said, it's unfortunate, because it it gave it it was a fire that was lit. But I think it's an interesting thing because me responding the way I do gives hope to other women to know that it's all a lie. Like I said, all this, being called a whore, a prostitute. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not none of that. Me being a former dancer and Reese, I'm talking 16 years ago. Like ain't no way I'm doing none of that shit Megan doing. Okay, let's just start off there. I'm not doing none of that. God bless her. And let me tell you something, she has the youth to do it. But back when I was doing it, this was not a thing. Like the stripper culture was not a thing. No, there were
Right.
people that were going to college and school and was dancing and then finishing college and then they went on with their lives. They became surgeons, doctors, lawyers, like, what I mean? That was just
Yep.
a way that you made money, like how the young guys would drug deal and then they moved on. They became construction workers or whatever. It was a stepping stone. It wasn't something to be glorified because no one really accepted it. That's the time in which I came. So to hear it come back up, this long ago, I found it funny. And then to eradicate my trucking career, that was another thing. I think that was the biggest thing was that, wait a minute, I've been a trucker for 3 years. Like I have my CDL class A. Like I've teamed. I've also drove by myself for a year. Like that was a thing that was just like, wait, what? Like, what I'm saying? It was like, and so it evolved into the exposing of how people really feel. And that's why I stood before everyone because I said, I want you ladies to see what men do. I want you to see
Hmm.
the difference between a male and a man. Because what TB did was a man. He seen a woman who does what she's supposed to do, don't bother nobody, don't, and to get constantly tear down. He stepped up as a man, like how men do for women that have children. They be like,
Yep.
you ain't got to go through that by yourself. I got your back. You know what I mean? You a good mother. That's what he did, and they couldn't stand that. And then to top it off, I support him. I'm the one that's like, I don't have to talk bad about him. TB is a fabulous fucking guy. He's a dope. Why are we even playing this game? You don't have to speak bad about someone. You may not agree with everything they have to say, but that doesn't take away the career and the knowledge and the forthright that he is with all of us, the transparency that he gives us. I said you don't have to have sex with him to know that he's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I'm just not standing for it. And so I stand here and I do it because it's beyond me. That's the pill I swallow. I said, this ain't about me. I'm just a vessel. I'm a muse. I have a higher purpose into what I'm doing because there's a lot, especially young girls, they will fall off the face of the earth.
Hmm.
There's a lot of women, they couldn't do it. They could not take this, especially to the day. But I'm here to show, yes, you can, man. F what a man gotta say, yo. If you doing right, you not hurt nobody, that's all that matters at the end of the day. So that's just why I do what I do.
But I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that, you just walk away from situations and you don't entertain it. Because
Yep.
you do that and because you're not going toe to toe with them, the only thing they can do is try to interrupt.
Yes.
And
Facts.
that's what I felt. And it was so shocking to me because, of course, I know of TB. I said on TB's live the other day, you don't start researching trucking without seeing
Mm,
Trucker Brown, without watching his
mm,
videos. So that's how
mm,
I eventually saw you. And
mhm.
from the first couple of times I saw you go live with him, I said, okay, they got chemistry. So it wasn't a surprise when it came out that you guys were an item. But,
Yeah.
I would look at a video here and there and then get off of it. So when I
Yeah.
actually started watching you and I was like, okay, this chick vibrates on a higher frequency than what I'm used to. I was vibing, and then to see this stuff, it was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And that is, they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish the other day, which was
Yeah.
interfering
Yes, because that's
because
what
they
happened
can't
on
be they can't get
Sunday.
on your platform.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, here's
Yep,
the thing.
yep.
I
And so I
invite
was
them on
like,
here.
whew,
Yeah. It was well, that was the initial shock. The initial shock was like it came out, right? And people now like, do we believe it? Do we change our opinion of her? And I was like, okay, well, how about I make it easy for everyone? I'm a whore. Now what happens? Can we go back to talking? You know what I mean? I was just like, okay, I'm a prostitute, whatever. Anywho, so what's going on today? Like, and that was not the response I was supposed to give. I was supposed to break down. I was supposed to, you know, be checked. And so, and like I said, I did it all the right way, meaning, TB stood up for me and, people, what I mean? Like things were happening, but then I just got to the point I was like, man, you ain't gonna out curse out no black woman, bro. Like this is not a thing. Like I won't stand
Girl,
for it. Like
when I don't know how long that live was, but when I tell you my jaw hurt because it sat on the floor the entire time, I was like, oh my God, oh my God. When you said you're really mad at the women for sleeping
mm.
with them, I said, okay, she's on a different level. This is not going to end anytime soon. So let me get my popcorn and wrap this coffee up. But you have to be able to get it out, though. We're
Yeah,
we're human beings. Like you said, we're
exactly.
emotional, and I think that
Mhm.
the type of person I am, I'm very recluse, and I
Yeah.
don't say a lot. And typically, by the time it comes out, it is just a mess because I've been holding so much in that
Mhm.
he may have forgot to bring milk home, but I'm crying
Mhm.
about something that happened 3 months ago that he didn't even know was an issue. So I
Yeah.
have to get better about that,
No, I
sharing a little
think
more.
I think it's if you want to know my opinion, I could be wrong. But my opinion of things is men really liked it when we were not in a position that we're in now. Like all this whole you can talk and you have rights and you can vote. I think men secretly
Hmm.
are trying to rope us back into the whole ideology of that 1950s woman where you don't say much and you're just because what's happening is it's causing the natural order of men and women to be at a friction. So how can I put it? Like, if I have a man, that's why I don't get why the women go to Kevin Samuels and go to different platforms to ask a man how it is. We should be trading secrets with our own because who knows us better than our each other as gender. Like I should be able to tell, me and you should be able to talk and say,
Right,
girl, listen, you got to flick the tongue when you're sucking a dick. You know what I mean? Or you
right.
got to ride it with your hips because who know better than you? But see, when they have us in the mindset of one, we can't be trusted with each other. We don't have the integrity as men, and we can't evolve. See, they're banking on that. They're hoping that again, we can't be trusted. That's why the phrase still remains the same. Women just can't rule the world because the way they're looking at it is the one thing that we're not tapping into is our logic. Logically speaking, whores are winning. Like they're getting money, they're selling records, they're doing their thing. So when you think about it, if a woman was to detach from the emotion and build on her logic, that'd be a bad motherfucker, yo. And the one that was closest to it was Queen Mother Shabazz. Queen Mother Shabazz was trying to tell women, listen, you ain't got to be like a man. You can tap into your feminine energy and get everything you want. You want to be a stay-at-home mom? You're going to have to rub your man's back. You're going to have the dinner on the
Hmm.
table. You're going to have to do these things. She was looking at it from if you want to value what you want as a woman, you have to start thinking like a woman. Now everything's out of the way. Oh, you got to be a boss. You got to come up to the table like a
But
man.
it's illogical for men to want that. It's
What do you
illogical
mean?
for men to want that 1950s woman when
True.
you're not giving the woman the 1950s security
True. And that's where we're always at
to
an
be able to be
impasse.
that stay at home.
True. That's why we're at an impasse at all times. That's why Kevin Samuels is necessary for the community and necessary for the table because he's telling everyone, listen, if we all look at it as if you were to be if you were to sit in a class with eligible people and look around, they're not going to be with people that you think you're supposed to be with. And that's what he does. He puts things into logic
Hmm.
now, not for the future and not for the past. He's talking about who you are today. Like when he hears women
Right.
say, I want a high value man, he'll ask you, who are you today? Are you accommodating for a high value man today? And a lot of times it's no. Same with men. Men want, this is what men want, and this is something where if a man is in the live, he can tell me if I'm wrong. Men want a freak in the sheets. They want a freak in the bed. They want those things, but they don't want their woman to be viewed as that. They don't want that stuff, yo. They just don't want the drama, because then it becomes this whole ideal of they have to now add on to the veneer of being more manly. Who the hell wants to go out to dinner with your girl and your girl got her titties and ass all over the place and you feel like you got to fight because someone's going to disrespect you? And really, it ain't about the woman. It's about them testing your masculinity.
Correct.
That's all that is. So it's like, the problem is that we are stepping outside of what is natural for us. You are a woman. Your needs and wants should not be along the same lines of a man. I said it's like a negotiation table. When two companies negotiate, they actually don't have the same thing in mind. That's why they have to negotiate. They have their list of demands and needs. You have your list of demands and needs, and we meet at a compromise. We don't both come to the table. What's the point of the negotiation if everyone's on the same page? That's the difference between negotiations and mergers. Mergers happen because we're on the same, we see the same value, so we will merge, and we can do this together. We'll have more strength in numbers. We'll have more strength in predictability. I'm sorry, in productivity. But with men and women, we're always thinking we're trying to step into the shoes, and we don't have to do that. I don't do that. A lot of people ask me, how the hell do you deal with TB? I said, TB is a sweetheart. He is a characterization for the camera. When that camera's off, that's a completely different guy. And that's the guy I actually got to know. And I told him that. I said, I would like to get to know you. Blew his mind. He was like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, like, what are you into? And when he's getting into photography, I said, I do photography. Boom, we now have a common interest. And that blossomed into, oh, okay, cool. And it took away like I said, when we are thinking about this logically, it's the connectivity, it's relationships. Life is about relationships, whether it's relationships with your job, with people, with your children. It's you maintaining and have the ability to maintain the relationship. You cannot do things alone. It is impossible. You can live as a recluse. What does that serve? How do you thrive in that? So you start becoming selective as age allows us to do. We become more refined. We become more selective. We start saying, you know what? I don't feel like having to look over my back. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to connect with people that from the jump just dope. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, say with you and I have no problem whatsoever if you come to Vegas, whatever, having a lunch with you. Because my thing is this, why? I mean, what's going to happen at lunch? I'm thinking of it as like, you want to eat. I'm not thinking we be trucking is trying to, I'm going to see if our hair really is nappy. Why? I'm going to assume that you're hungry and we're going to go eat and we're going to have a good time. I always lead with that, because me thinking that you're out to get me, that puts wrinkles on my face. And girl, Father Time ain't kind of us. he don't be liking us. So that's just where I'm at with it. And like I said, I do this because this world is cruel, but that don't mean I am. Damn, now I'm not going to let this world take me and do what it want with me. I'm not doing that. I want to connect with people. And if this is the new medium in which we will use it, why can't we use it as innocently as we used to go to concerts? We would go to concerts and sit down and, you know what I'm saying? And you connect with people. I don't know how many phone numbers and stuff I got from concerts, and we went out to lunch or diners. It's like the way that it worked is like obsolete. Right. And I'm not going with that. Like, I feel like I should be able to meet somebody. They act accordingly. You're not trying to lose your life. I'm not trying to lose mine. Let's grab a burger. And it's simple as that.
But then you see these weirdos online and you're like, maybe not.
Never mind.
Maybe it'll be a double date. I'm gonna bring my husband / security just in case, because you never know.
It's like,
because I've had some female fatal attraction type situations. My husband's like, she likes you, and I'm like, no, like I'm blind, naive, just unsuspecting, and the
Yeah.
chick was nuts, and he was completely right.
No. No, I know. And that's why having people in your corner like that, they it's necessary because you just don't know. I mean, I've had chicks that I have chicks that are trying to be friends with me simply on the simple fact that I'm with TB. Don't know me, don't want to get to know me, just want to be in my orbit because I'm directly there. And me, I do it to the I'll be like this, hey, go talk to him. Go. And they be like, wait, what? But no, I'm like, no, you don't get it. Go do what you feel like you need to do. I guarantee you, if you go in there with the wrong intentions, he gonna let you know. Forget me. He gonna let you know because he's an individual. He has value. He has the right to speak, and so do I. So like I said, when everyone's on the same accord, because you will do that for your husband. If there was a dude that's around your husband and he's like using him or telling him to do something that's wrong, like, come on, man, let's go rob a liquor store. The woman in you is gonna say, "Oh hell no, I love my man at home with me. You going to get out of here with that? No, no, no. We
Yeah.
don't do negativity over here. It's inclined for you to do so. Like I said, with me, with people in general, just because we have the screen here doesn't mean that your true character can't shine through. And that's why I do this the way that I do, because it's like this. Listen, you can hide behind this camera. You literally could. But your character and how you respond and how you are, your consistency in that tells me everything about people. That does not change. So I think that's the thing we should look at. Like, hey man, this is now the new coffee shop, or this is the new way to meet people. And people do forge solid relationships and friendships through the internet because that's just the times now, right? Like it's not ideal, but it's the time. So you can embrace it and make do and say, okay, well, it is what it is, and do it in a way that's healthy. Or you can use it as a crutch and say, you know what, well, I'm gonna have my guarded with this or my guarded with that. And I mean, too much of anything is just bad. So, it's just one of the things you just have to be, understanding, and always, I feel like, just put compassion and love up first. If you move in that way first, there's a lot of stuff you can duck. A lot of stuff you can duck in life. And if someone's not being compassionate or reciprocating, you just dismiss. You're gone. It's as simple as that. It's a simple thing. We don't owe anybody anything. Like, you don't owe me to come on to, what I mean, to call in. You don't owe me that,
Right.
but you do it. And guess what? I reciprocate by appreciating it, and we're having a vibe. And that is just the natural world order of life.
I think one of the things that I find so sad is that the older I get and the more open I am to establishing new friendships,
Mm-hmm.
I find that so many people don't even know what a healthy relationship is. Period. Women
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to be friends to women. Men don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to be friends to men. Because some people, they did come up, in the street game, and
Yeah.
they're always watching their back,
Yeah.
and they don't realize that once you really have a brother, once you really have, somebody that you can really depend on, you don't have to look over your shoulder. You can relax a little bit. And
Mm-hmm.
women, we're constantly in competition. And I,
Yes.
I don't get that because I don't. If I reach out to you trying to be your friend, it's because I feel like I can gain value
Mm-hmm.
from that interaction. I feel like you can gain value from interacting with me
Yes.
because growth is like my number one goal in life right now. Like the person that I was 10 years ago and the person I am now, totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different. And so I'm just looking to move forward in that and grow more. Like, I came up in the church. One day I looked up and realized I was a really judgmental person based off of how I was taught.
Mm.
And I realized that pretty much most of what I knew was wrong. It just wasn't
Mm.
it wasn't a way to live life. And so like now, there's a constant like deprogramming of some of the things that I've been taught. And,
Mhm.
I have to surround myself with people who want to grow also. Because a lot of the people I grew up with are still the same way they were when we were young. And that doesn't benefit me.
Girl. Mm. And you know what's funny? And that should be that's the thing that we don't promote. When do you have that aha moment? And when you do, it's like a coming to Jesus. It's like, wait a minute, what? And it's such a beauty. And that's the thing that I always try to tell, especially women. You have no idea what it feels like when you come to a conclusion of, you know what, I do deserve better. And the only person that's going to give it to me
Hmm.
is me. And that's why women that are
Yeah.
doing hot yoga and stuff, those are, like I said, like it's a stillness and it's a femininity, and that's probably what that is. To be honest with you, it's a femininity that's within us that attracts us to those type of women. So we'll be like, like me, I
Yeah.
love earth goddess like women, like anyone that's like into spirituality, being an earth god, like yogis. That is my jam. That's like, because I look at it as like we are earth, right? Like it's like we from us fruitation happens. And so I started with that. I started doing yogi spirituality. Then I started going into tea service and ladies at lunch and stuff. And then I started realizing, okay, it's not really a woman thing. It's just this energy. Women are great conductors of energy, great conductors of energy. And when you find women that are like, they're just dope and they're cool and they're not, they're balanced. Oh my God, girl, like a girl that can curse you out and then turn around,
Hmm.
and help out at the soup kitchen. Those are, to me, those are just good people in general because they have a great command of balance in life. Because you can't always be happy. I hate those type of
Right.
women. Oh, I'm just always happy. I'm like, girl, you ain't stub your toe today. And it's like, oh, and then you meet women, they're just toxic. Like, it's like, so girl, like, I sucked this dick so good, made his asshole clap, and this nigga taking me to it's like, whoa. And it just,
Yeah. All the way the
you know
other
what I mean?
way.
It's like all over the place. When you try to navigate as women, we just regress back and say, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on my man and my money, and that is it. And then, like I said, what we're doing is we are jipping ourselves out of being true individuals and connecting with our sisterhood and being there for each other. Because, like I said, that's the one thing men got. That's the one thing I envy with men. The wino at the corner is going to give giblets to the young guys. Like, men tell men
Hmm.
information. We don't do that as women. We hate to feel like we're inferior or lack thereof to another woman. And therefore, we always stunt our growth.
The sisterhood is broken and missing.
That's, that's it. I'm starting the sisterhood. All colors are welcome. Just be a woman. I'm so tired. Let me tell you something. I was like, yo, man. You know what's funny? I'm be honest, and I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna fish it out. I started this club. It was Do you ever heard of Meetup? I think, was it Meetup? Yeah, I think it was like Meetup. It was this online
Yep.
app where, yeah, you would put in your local city or whatever, and there were clubs that were formulated that you could meet up at, and y'all could, buy whatever. I'm gonna say about 3, 4 years ago, maybe even 5. I started this thing called the New Black Woman. And what the New Black Woman was, I said, instead of us coming here talking about the detriment and the shit that we go through as Black women, how about we talk about some of the things that's dope about us, right? Like, and what do we like and our aspirations, our dreams? Like, I wanted to take it back to a childlike situation. Like, if you wanted to be a ballerina, let's all go to a ballet together. And if one woman wanted to be, I don't know, a wizard, then we're going to go to a concert or some wizard convention. Like, I wanted to get back to when it was just, not a thing to be reminded that you were a Black woman. You just was a woman that was Black. Like, that was it. Like, it was just whatever. And that thing lasted about 3 rounds. The first round was dope. The second round, the
Wow.
third round, it got ratchet. It was so bad that, because what I was doing was I was paying for at the time I was a chef. And so I was paying, or not paying, I was calling in
I
favors.
knew you must have been a chef watching those darn videos. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no problem. No, I'm sorry. I was calling in favors. Like I knew other chefs in the circuit, and I was saying, "Hey, can I use your restaurant?" And I was shutting the restaurant down. I was basically paying for the food. I told the ladies, "Listen, we're gonna curb on the liquor and everything, but listen, if you want to contribute and stuff like that, feel free." But I really just wanted where we can have something that we come to, and it ain't ratchet, and ain't nobody trying to tear us down and stuff. And the sad part I didn't consider,
Exactly.
because it was innocent in my eyes of coming to that conclusion. I didn't consider how toxic the women were. I don't know why that didn't come up, but I just assumed that people wanted a break from the nastiness of life anyway. So it was just one of those things where it and it's funny because men came up to me
Right.
and said, "I could have told you that thing wasn't gonna last," and I hated that. I said, I hate that y'all think that y'all right. I know it can be done. I know we can come together and I know we can do it. But I think now at this age where, you know, I, uh, uh, I don't care what anyone thinks or whatever. I think it's opening up that door where other women can say, well, shit, if she can stand on her feet, hell, I got the strength too. You know what, girl? F them. You know what? Let's do it. And that's what I wanted to have. I want it to be where people don't live in fear. Women live in fear all the time anyway.
Mhm.
So why can't they have a place of peace? Why
Yep.
can't I cut on my, YouTube or something? And like I said, cut on my YouTube today. I seen 2, 3 videos with my name in it. One with a chick and one from Dodo Bird, and I was just like, here we go. Pour me 2 cups of coffee. Pour me 2 cups of coffee. Lord Jesus, put
And
some
I
espresso
just don't get it.
in.
Like
Girl.
you say, I don't get men. I don't get men beefing with women. I don't get that either. But considering that almost every woman has been through some sort of struggle in her
Mm-hmm.
life based on
Mm.
something that she had no control over, I don't get us taking the time to tear somebody down who is living their life.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can see if you were out here harming people, if you were out here
Well,
intentionally being mean and nasty, stealing people's husbands and stuff like that, but you're not
yeah.
doing any of that. So, like the post with the colorism post, like that took me out yesterday. My husband was
Oh,
like,
yeah, I know.
"This is really your best friend in your head." I'm like, "Girl, I'm ready to fight. Like this is crazy."
Just like on the block. I'm ready to take it to the block. Yeah, man. I laugh, man, because I was like, you know what I give thanks to? I'm just glad that I've elevated from. Like I said, it's different now for me. Like I said, I do spar with them. I don't want y'all to think that I'm like goody two shoe. I take it there sometimes. Sometimes I'll
No.
sit in some zingers, or I'll just come on a live and go off and stuff because I'm human. But I just laugh. I think of it as I say, what else can I do but just accept that, hey man, mom will get a profit off of it. I mean, I've had people pay into my Cash App to have me go off. And sometimes I even gotta say, come on, y'all, don't do that. Like I've had people pay me like a couple $100, say, yo, today, go on live, do it. Like I'm like, y'all are part of the problem. Like this can't be a thing. Like we can't, this is not an ongoing, like, it's like almost like X-Men with like freaking Professor X and Magneto. Like I cannot do this with y'all. But I mean, I get it. Like I said, I think I do it because I go through that every day as a black woman, just in period. Like I go outside and I could be at the coffee shop or something, and or I could, be somewhere and someone just looks at me wrong. You know what I mean? And or pluck my nerve to get me to spaz out. I see that every day. It's just it's something that I have honed into a craft now. So now I'm more so like, now that I see that you're doing it, I won't give you that. But for the people on the internet, I mean, I just look at it as you a troll, then I feel like trolling too. I mean, it's no rules. They try to put rules into it. This is not no rules. If you want to get personal, I can get personal. I just do things differently. I wait to see how long it's going to be, and then I'll just come out and do something inflammatory. But like I said, it's something where I don't take it seriously. I really don't. I don't take it seriously. I don't really let it affect my day. Like when the thing closes, that's it. It's just one of those things where I'm like, all right, well, I gave it all I got today. And I hope a couple of those curse words hurt, but if they didn't, whatever. And that's all. So it's something where it will pass. I tell you that. I mean, eventually, like I said with the women, eventually someone's going to tap them on the shoulder and say, "You have to let this be done," or you have to invest your efforts into something else. And that's usually the strength of a woman. A woman will tap her man on the shoulder and say, that's not, please think of your family, or please think of, other things and stuff like that, and so that's what I was hoping for, to be honest. I was hoping that the voice of reason, which is usually from a woman, would step in, but that didn't happen. So
I mean,
it
at the
is
end of
what
the
it
day, you
is.
look like a sore loser. You look like somebody who got looked over by TB, and now you have to comment
Oh,
on the
girl,
chosen one.
don't say that, girl. I wasn't
Wh-
even looking that way, girl. Don't do it.
And I mean, but that's what it looks like. And like
Yeah,
you said,
yeah.
the idea of the sisterhood to me sounds like a really good thing because being a black woman is heavy from the beginning. Like I remember, I'm a military brat, so I was born in Germany,
Okay. Oh,
and then
wow.
my parents
Okay.
got out of the military. We moved back to St. Huh?
No, I said that's dope.
Or you
That
were?
you were in Germany.
What'd you say?
I said you were in
Oh,
Germany. You were born in Germany.
yeah, I was born in Germany. Yeah,
Whoa. Okay.
yeah, I was born there. So, but I don't remember much of it. I was young.
Okay.
And my parents are a little older, so by the time I was born, they were on their way out of the military. But when we moved to St. Louis, we moved into a predominantly white neighborhood. And when I got
Hmm.
to middle school, they had what was called the desegregation program, where they bussed black kids in from the city to go to these
Yeah.
white schools. And I
Hmm.
remember being so excited, like, oh my God, I get to be around people who look like me. I was so happy. And they treated me so bad. Why do you talk like this? Why do you look like this? I bet you're mixed and all this other stuff. And
Um,
all I wanted to do was have friends who looked like me. And it took me down a very negative path because the only people who would mess with me, of course, were black guys.
mm-hmm.
And they didn't have the best intentions.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to be around people who looked like me. I mean, I love my white friends. I have white friends who would take a bullet for me to till this
Mm-hmm.
day. But there's nothing like being around people who understand you and understand your
Yeah.
culture. And they don't laugh at you when your mama say they finna whoop your behind because they mama might whoop they behind too. My white friends were shocked, like, "Oh my God, your mother's gonna hit you." So I would be so embarrassed. But I just remember, like, at a young age, being a black woman was very heavy for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, in the me I am today, I just look for relationships with black women that bring something positive to my life
Yeah.
because it was very negative for a very long time. And then I have daughters, and I see my daughters going through the same cycle of trying to find their
Mm.
identity
Yeah.
because we have this very narrow minded view in the black community of what's black. And there's no such thing as what's black. That's not a thing.
Facts. Facts. It's not something you can just, it's not a, like I said, this is not something that is the end all be all. That's why I said, like,
Hmm.
when you, it's the funny thing, or should I say the interesting thing about me, I didn't grow up in the hood. My interaction with the hood was when I left the safety of my environment and I tried to connect with people from the
Hmm.
hood. And I just got tired of, I'm like, thinking about it from a second, because like I said, I've been through stuff, but I was like, I always had, see, I was raised with the moral compass. So there was things that's going too far. Like I'm like, okay, this is too far. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not going to be doing drugs
Right.
and all that. Yeah, like I'm not doing none of that. So, yeah, I mean, so it was, and that's the thing that they hated about me. It was like, if you gonna hang with us and you gonna be here with us and you up in the hood with us, then you got to take it this far. And I was like, you know what? I'm out of here.
Right.
And that's what I did. I
Nah.
would leave and I would not foster these toxic situations. That's why, like I said, when it came out that I'm supposed to be all these things, people are looking at my character and looking at how I speak, and they're like, you don't sound like like what we would expect for you to be. And I said, because I just held on to my moral compass. I mean, did I do those? Did I dance and stuff? First of all, a stripper and a prostitute are two different things. And first of all,
Totally.
it's so disrespectful for you to even say that a stripper is prostituting, because to me, it's so disrespectful to the strippers. That's number one. And the thing that makes no sense to me is, like I said, at the end of the day, at what point do we evolve? If you're telling me that a woman, if she's a stripper or a prostitute, she will always be that, then that means all those men that were drug dealers and destroying our community, that's exactly what they are. And I should not respect those people. And see, they don't like that. They don't like when you come with the logic. Because like I said, they like to say that women do double standards. Cool, then we will play double standards. So if I hear any man that says, oh yeah, listen, I know I got a good job and I live in a nice neighborhood and I take care of my kids, but I'm real in the streets, then that means you're disrespecting the blessing that uplifted you out of the situation, and you're paying homage to something that has no direct contribution other than the fact that you have invested in your own survival and your own time to make it so that way your family is safe. You're going to disregard that to be hood, to give thanks to that? Oh, you crazy. I don't respect it. Yeah. And that's what I did. I just started to say, when did it become cool for people that are negative and mean to be the orbiters of all of us? Hell no. I'm not sitting up there I'm not going back and forth with nobody that is living in a nice neighborhood, that care about their kids, and sit up here and send everyone before them to the slaughterhouse. Because that's what you're doing when you promote that. When you're saying, oh yeah, get a man for everything he got, but you taking care of your man, but you don't want nobody to know that. Oh, girl, listen, man, I do this, that, and the third, blase, blah. I'll sit around and do it. But then when you home, it's something different. Why do you live that way? You don't have to live that way. What's wrong with you just promoting the truth? The truth is, hey, I've been a person like that. I had that mindset. I was negative in the past. I changed. And when you change, look what you can get. A nice house, a nice car, right. A nice this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what happened to that? Because that's what Big Mama used to do. That's what our grandparents used to do. They used to keep it G with us. Like, what? You think this was given to me, this house? I had to work for this. A lot of our grandparents were sharecroppers. A lot of them was given property due to slavery.
Yep.
So it's one of those things where it's like, why do we do this? Why do we play this game? This is not a game no more. You don't have to live like that. And I get on the women because I say, you are the ones that are in control of the raising of the children. Mm-hmm. You are the person that is supposed to be the regulator of what comes in that house. I mean, Biggie Small said something that was the realest shit I ever heard in my life. He said this, and I quote, he told his mama, don't listen to my music. And she didn't do it because he knew that how you raise me and how I rap and how I have to be out in the street, they're two different things. And I want to protect you from that. It's because you have to understand.
I wonder all the time with some of these lyrics, how these people's parents feel about it.
Oh man, I can only imagine. But it's one of those things where I get why people promote it, because everyone else making money off of us, right? When you think about it, everyone else make more money on us being what they train us to be. Everyone else make money off of the hood, being a nigga, all that shit, from all other races and cultures. We're the only ones that don't see the benefit of it. We're always the guinea pig. That's why I said, why even stay there in the first place? You want to juke it or really stick it to everyone? Mm-hmm. Start not being a nigga. Watch what happens. Then where will they get it from? Stop being a nigga. Just listen, I'm black. I don't want to be a nigga no more. And that's it. And watch what they do. It's I mean,
I,
seriously, when you
nah.
think about it. We just stop. Don't be a nigga for 30 days. Watch what happens. People are gonna pluck you to be a nigga. Listen, I didn't get this way being stupid. When I started not being what they thought that I was, that's when I started to see the light. I said, holy crap. Oh. So if I don't walk, like I would go into places, right? The whole smiling thing. Oh, that was a big thing back in the day. A man would say, smile. You too pretty. You should smile.
Mhm.
You know what I did one day? I just
Mhm.
smiled. I said, you know what? F it. I'm just going to give it out. And it completely, what it did was all the men that were nice, they will reciprocate, but that doesn't mean they're trying to go any further. They be like, hey, sister, how you doing? Hey, beautiful. And keep on moving because they want to get a little pep in their step. And then for all the men that were looking for prey, they're looking for prey now. They're looking for the weak ones. They're looking for the ones that don't have no confidence. If you smile, that dismiss them. They're not going to approach you. They're just not going to approach you. So I started to understand, like I said, it started to be me being more cognitive of what's going on around me. I said, oh, okay, it's me. I turned off my natural conscience as a woman, and my interaction with men needs to be heightened. And that's what happened. So I just started looking at things outside of myself. I said, okay, what happens when this happens? What happens when that happens? And then once I found out what works, that was how I navigated through life. But there were certain things that men were telling us as women that we just wasn't listening to. And so that's why I treat men from the gate with
Mhm.
respect. But if you do not act like a man, I will not treat you as such. Because I believe that when a woman acts like a woman and you blatantly disrespect her, that's not fair. So I flip the script back. If you act like a man, I will treat you as such. If you step over that line, hey man, I'm gonna treat you like a bitch in the street. F it, we all some bitches in this motherfucker thing. That's how I act. That's how I respond because I look at it as if I walk through this earth, and like I said, I walk through this earth unscathed. I'm 35 years old. I shouldn't be going through none of this nonsense. I didn't go through this in my 20s. I didn't have nobody blatantly outright disrespect me and stuff like that. Never. And let me tell you something. It's unfathomable to think because you got to think things have changed now. So I move with the times. I said, okay, if the times say that it don't matter what they say, it's just really about your production in life, then that's the way I'm going to go. I can't fight. I can't come to war with outdated weaponry. So if everyone's coming with
Right.
guns and I'm still coming there with a bow and arrow, of course I'm going to get slain. But if I come up there, with a tank, I may be able to lay some people down. So that, as women, we have to evolve and we have to understand that we are not opposing. We should always be in complement with men. We need them just as much as they need us and vice versa. We should always be complementary to each other. And so, but listen, you are now my sister. First of all, we're best friends. That just happened. We're best friends. So I expect you in Vegas. We're going out to eat. And I'm gonna take you someplace that's going to blow your mind. But what I am going to do, like I said, with the morning vibes, is this is how it's going to be. It's just going to ebb and flow. It's just going to we just going to flow. I'm trying to have it where when I start, I don't be in around the same time as TB because I do know a lot of the people do need to hear that information. So I'll probably step it down a little bit or step it up or so. But nonetheless, like this is happening because again, I'm only doing this. At first, I was just doing it for me to express myself. But now that I see that people do value it, like I said, I don't care if it's just 12 people that value it. I'm gonna do it for y'all because y'all are in the same boat. Y'all just want to have conversations and actually foster good energy and vibes from people. So I'm definitely going to put together segments and stuff like that and really have it where we can do this like seriously. Because I definitely think that women would gain so much value being able to speak or just learn from each other and not be about negative. Like I don't need to know a woman's past. Like I don't like doing that. I don't like taken to a person where it's a, they overcame it and it's a scar that's healed. I want to talk about now. What you into now? You into macrame? Oh snap! You're into adult coloring books. Let's talk about that. You know what I mean? I like to keep it light because, like I said, as a woman, men have it. They have their stuff that they go through, but so do we. And that's why I don't understand why we can't get along. We go through the same magnitude of pain. It's the same. So it's just, it is what it is. But yo, what's your you on IG, right? I'm gonna send you my number.
Yeah, Reese G.
Oh, okay, okay. I got you. I'm so
Is it
used to
Reese
seeing
S?
we be
Reese
trucking.
G.
Bingo. All right. No, so this one I'm gonna do
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah. That's big.
Sean giving me that look like I'm hungry. I know you got this women empowerment thing
Oh.
going on, but I'm hungry. And I don't want him ordering out. We've been doing so good with
He interviewed my husband before
Oh, he
a
did?
while back, but I think like they
Well,
had a signal issue. Yeah,
oh well,
yeah. My husband
is he
had
gonna
went
come
live
back
with him.
on the
It was
thing?
like maybe September, November.
Oh, so he's due
I
for a
don't know.
re-up.
I don't know. Yeah, my
He's
husband
due
loves
for
to
a re-up.
talk. Huh?
Well, I said so then we have to make that
Yeah,
happen then.
yeah.
So
Well,
when did your
it's
husband
time to.
drive nights? Your husband drive nights,
Yeah,
Reese?
yeah. Because something
Okay.
happens to me when the sun goes down. My head needs a pillow. So,
It's called solar
and my
power.
husband, like he, my husband's a Scorpio, so like the moon does something to him. It energizes him. So I just let him have that.
Okay, okay. No, I'm gonna reach out to you. I'm gonna give you my number. We gonna chit chat and catch up for sure. I'm gonna conclude this only because I gotta feed Sean. We gotta go to the gym. I am past my gym time, but we gonna dissect this and I probably will come back on later on today, if not definitely every day, for the morning vibe show. And for sure we're just gonna keep this going. And like I said, for me, it's really just for me to really connect with people. That's I just like being able to talk to all walks of life and just really have it where it's a good vibe, because that's just so needed in the world today. So but no, I'm gonna reach out to you now. Let me get up off of here and stuff like that. You be safe. Tell your husband to reach out to TB so they can do an actual interview and start having where you guys can have an actual conversation segment, because he'll do that. In fact, he likes doing it. He likes talking to people that are very successful in trucking, or trying to do whatever they want to do in trucking, and give them the platform to do that. So make sure he reaches out for that for sure.
We're just sponges. We're learning. We just doing the best we can to get out
Mhm.
here and make a living. But I mean, my basic reason for calling you was to let you know that you're appreciated. What you're doing is making a positive impact, and yeah, I'm just appreciative for coming across you. So
Thank you
you
so
guys be
much.
safe and don't work out too hard.
Oh, so listen, I got to, man. I'm fat out here in the streets. I gained all this weight, girl. Woo! But no, I'm gonna check back with you, my sister, my beautiful sister. Thank you so much for blessing us with that today. I'm gonna reach out to you. You stay safe on the road, and I will talk to you soon.
Alrighty, bye bye.
Bye bye. That is Miss Reese, the better half or the equal half of We Be Trucking. Listen, guys, what a good show today. It was a very, very beautiful show. This continues. That's just official then. I hope I get 1,000 dislikes. Don't matter, because we're gonna start this again tomorrow, relatively in the morning. Per usual, I want to thank everyone that comes out. You guys, then more than welcome to share the content. If you guys want to support the channel, hit the Cash App at waytwoflybaby. Make sure you have that $ before it. Also, I'm on Venmo. You can definitely hit the Patreon, so that way I can start cooking with you guys and putting together things for you guys to have that is effortless and easy breezy for eating on the road. Absolutely. Make sure that you guys are following me on my IG, waytwoflybaby, where I just post candid pictures of myself, things that's going on with me personally and stuff like that. And I mean, listen, if you guys have trucking issues and things of that nature, want to learn more on trucking itself, make sure you go to the epicenter. The only one that's going to be transparent and help you guys do better, also promote not to do drugs, is Trucker Brown. Make sure you guys catch him in the morning. And I know there's people that like the hot mess. I like the hot mess too sometimes. So make sure you guys are following New Regime Entertainment, where we just take it there sometimes. I mean, hell, what's a little good, what's a little evil, what are you going to do about it? So listen, I appreciate you guys, love you more than ever. I appreciate the support. You guys be safe out there on the road. And listen, I'm going to let you guys rock out with a little bit of the morning vibes. We're going to keep the pace on here. Let's see, let's do this guy. Nah, it's not like that. Oh, there we go. Ooh. See, that got that neo soul vibe to it. Ooh. Listen, guys, I appreciate you guys. Go ahead and rock out to this. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let the day just take you away.